So today we're going to talk about IPAs, which stands for Income Producing Activities. So whether you signed up to sell Scentsy to get yourself a little bit of wax here and there for free and half off, or just make a little bit extra money, or I don't know, maybe make it a part-time job or one day a full-time job. Whatever your situation is or will become, because yes, it's okay if it changes over time, you'll want to do the things in your business to generate income, to generate sales, because this is a business, and that's how businesses are sustainable, is through generating incomes and growing, right? So oftentimes I hear people say that they don't have a lot of time to work their Scentsy business because they have a full-time job, they have a family, they go to school, whatever the case may be, and that they don't do this full-time, and that's okay. However, to have a successful Scentsy business, you have to find some time for it in your life. Should Scentsy be ahead of your family? Not at all. Should Scentsy be ahead of your full-time job? No, ma'am. Should Scentsy be before school? No, you get the pictures. But Scentsy should be on your priority list somewhere if you want it to be a successful business, okay? So if you don't have a lot of time to work your Scentsy business in a day or a week, when you do find the time to work your Scentsy business, it needs to be income producing activities, things that are going to generate you sales, not just, wandering around aimlessly with your 15 minutes you have today to work, trying to figure out what am I going to do today to work my Scentsy business. So being organized is very important. And I know that there are people out there who are not, organization maybe not be their best friend. Maybe they like organized chaos or whatever. I am one of those. If you saw my desk right now, you'd probably be like, well, you're not the best at organization. I know where things are, but I do have checklists and I do have systems in place that help me to run my business smoothly, so that when I do have the time to work my Scentsy business, I am doing the things, the important things that need to be done. I do Scentsy full time. It's not always been that way. I have done it, just a little bit as a hobby. I've done it part time. I've done it when I had a full time job. I've done it with one kid. I've done it with two kids, like one kid and two kids. I've done it full time now, working from home with a kid with me all the time. Like, I've done several different things with this business, but I have made it work into my life. And I've made time for it. So here are some suggestions for income producing activities. So you probably knew this before you joined, or you have found out, but I'm going to reiterate it, that we don't have a monthly quota of sales, but we do have every 4 months, 1 month out of every 4, you need to have a $200 qualifying order. That makes you an active consultant. So whether that is, $50 or January, February, March, April, one of those months needs to have a $200 qualifying order in it. So not $50 in January, $50 in February, $100 in March. It has to be one of those consecutive months, okay, to be an active consultant. So my number one follow-up, or my number one, I've already spoiled it for you, my number one income producing activity is following up with your customers, okay? That to me is hands down number one. If I only have 15 minutes to work my business for the day, I am going to check my Sell with Amy app. Some people call it Maven, so you may hear that word, but it did change names. I'm checking that app, which is a paid app, but I love it. But that's not something that you have to do right now. And we can talk about follow-ups and different systems later. But I check that and make sure that that gets cleared, and I'm following up and making connections with my customers, and I'm building my relationship with my customers, and they know that I value and appreciate them. So I say that following up is your number one income producing activity, because when you're following up with your customers and you're building that relationship and you're working on your rapport with your customers and you're making them your friends and not just your customers, you have the ability to have the conversations of, starting your journey and joining my team, or booking parties with me, or can I get you another 6-pack of wax or some washer wheels or some light bulbs? So you have the opportunity when you're following up with people to have those 3 types of conversations, okay? So following up is very, very important from the very beginning. Since you are just getting started, I want you to understand just how important following up is with your customers, okay? Along with the following up, reaching out and to your friends and to your family and to their friends and family, and networking with other people, and making connections with other people. Reaching out to them to book parties with them, because we are a party-based business, y'all, and that's the best way to get your business going, is having parties and meeting new people and networking with their friends and family. But reaching out to book parties, you can start with your close family and friends, but don't expect every family member and every friend that you have to support your business. It's just not going to happen. Some people just, you think are really close to you that don't really support your business. And you just have to get over that, shake that feeling and move on. So reaching out and asking people if they want to host a party with you. You can incentivize it if you want to, but that has to be done private messaged. Use your list of 100. This is an opportunity for you to break out that list of 100 or your 3 lists of buying, hosting, and joining my team, whichever one you decided to do, and take a look at there and start reaching out to those people. And, I don't mean cold messaging somebody you haven't met since, or you haven't talked to since college or since high school and being like, hey girl, I sell Scentsy now, here's my direct link. That is not something I am okay with you doing in their inbox, okay? I want you to work on, we are in the business of building relationships with people, and so that's what I want you to work on when you are using your list of 100. Sharing this opportunity with others. If you're looking to grow this business big and wide and deep, then, starting with offering the opportunity out there to people for them to start their Scentsy journey, that's a big income producing activity. Sharing with them just how awesome this company is, why you love it so good. For me, I share with them just how blessed I am to have this opportunity in mine and my family's life and what it has done for us. And I don't want to be selfish with that opportunity, so I do try to share it as much as possible. So another income producing activity is prepping your bag parties that you might have going out, scheduling posts or posting in your online parties or getting that planned out on a sheet of paper of what you want to post each day. And again, team Facebook page, Facebook parties, a lot of stuff will come up on that. I know I have a file in our Facebook page about the 30-minute Facebook party that Kimberly Polito and Edie Ann Pelletier have perfected just about. Prepping for your home parties, those are income producing activity. Packaging your orders, writing your thank you notes, these are income producing activities because that's a big part of your customer service. Coaching your hosts on how to have the most successful party ever, knowing what your host wants to get for free and half off, and using that to help coach them along so that they, work with their friends and family. Because remember, people shop from the people that they know, like, and trust. And when you have a host out there and you don't know very many of their friends and family, you're relying on that host to help you make a connection with her people. And so you really need your host involved. And so you've got to coach your host along. And again, searching for a coach hosting. Coaching hosts or host coaching, I'm getting my words all tangled up, that's going to help you have the most successful party and her get the most rewards when she has her people on board and ready to party with you. Sample making is an income producing activity. I am not downing sample making at all, but trust me when I say you don't need to spend a lot of time on sample making. If you only have 15 minutes in a day, then you don't need to really worry about necessarily making samples, but you need to be worried about following up with those samples. So when you make samples and you pass them out, you need to do everything in your power to get their contact information, or if you already have their contact information, you need to make sure that you're keeping up with your samples, what you're giving them, when you're giving them, and following up with them 3 to 4 days after you give it to them and asking them how they like it, okay? Your samples are not going to make you money if you just pass them out all willy-nilly and then you don't have any way to follow up with them to find out if they actually liked it. So those are some good top income producing activities for you to think about as you start your business.